Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now, of course, at a time where Star Wars is in a very delicate place where Disney executives and, of course, Disney CEO Bob Iger really have to figure out a concrete plan on exactly how they can create a consistent flow of Star Wars projects that will be successful, that's truly going to convince the fandom that Star Wars is indeed back in action. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, given that, of course, there's been a lot of things that have happened since Gina Carano was fired over 2 years ago. Alright, it's been that long already. It's crazy how fast time just flew by, and here we are standing today with Mando Season 3 officially out. Ahsoka series on the horizon, which, by the way, Disney is looking at that as the home run for Disney+. And beyond that, too, we also have a lot of things happening with everything related to Kathleen Kennedy having issues with the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, so there's a lot of shakeups over at Lucasfilm and, of course, even at Disney, so to speak. And that brings us to Gina Carano and exactly the latest of what's really happening with all these different discussions that the executives, the board, and Bob Iger are having, along with John and Dave in the mix. And one thing specifically that I think is going to make a lot of fans very angry and or satisfied or okay with this is a brand new proposal that Disney is currently pushing that does involve Gina Carano as Cara Dune that may or may not really, enlighten a lot of fans out there. So we're going to be diving into every specific detail about this and exactly what's at stake, what it really means, and exactly why Disney is doing this. So, given that you all know already that Kathleen Kennedy has a lot of issues with Gina Carano, there's no question about it. However, on top of that, with Disney CEO Bob Iger getting more direct with the fans about his ambitions and goals with the Star Wars franchise. Recently, Disney executives have been discussing many scenarios to bring back actress Gina Carano, and that recent developments may very well make fans angry or satisfied. Now, in one of the latest pitches by the majority of the Disney executives and the board, most of them are preferring Gina Carano's appearance to return first in the Rangers of the New Republic series that will be revived instead of Mando Season 4 first, and that this would set her appearance delayed by a couple of years if they do push forward with this plan. However, that is not final. What is moving forward, however, is that the executives are actually calling for Gina Carano's deleted scenes from Mando Season 2 to not show up in the planned special edition of Mando Season 2 that is due for release in 2024 during the first quarter. The main reason why executives are pushing to leave her scenes out of this is that they feel fans are not ready for Gina's return so fast by early 2024 and want to wait for Mando 4 at a minimum for holiday season of that year, and 2 is that they feel that Gina's deleted scenes appearing in Mando 2 special edition will be pointless and a waste of revenue to fix those scenes and to edit them for the fans. Let me stop here for 1 second. So, it's really like a mixed bag, and it almost sounds hypocritical in a way because Disney is welcoming Gina with open arms, like they already have a concrete plan to bring her back, but at the same exact time they feel that if it's like 10 months earlier with her appearance, even if it's not, her on set, it's just old deleted scenes, they don't want her in that period because they feel it's too early to throw Gina Carano back in the headlines in less than a year from now. And I really don't understand that. I never understood that motive at all. But when you look at stuff like this is where the executives get very much, like a flip-flopper, right? They say one thing and then they mean another thing later, and it just gets exhausting after a while. Now, there's a lot of executives that are loyal to Kathleen Kennedy, and at no surprise, these are the ones that convinced other executives to kind of push forward with this idea to hold back on the Gina deleted scenes, take those out of the Mando Season 2 Special Edition, which, by the way, it is going to have alternate views of Luke Skywalker's scenes that we have not been able to see. So John and Dave are going to be doing some special things with that. But now it's looking likely that Disney's going to get rid of those deleted scenes of Gina and keep them out. Again, This is something that is a big proposal by the executives that they're pushing. Jon and Dave are fighting for this as of right now, trying to keep that and remain that intact. But it just goes to show you that Disney always has a change of heart, like at the flip of a dime, and they feel like certain scenarios are either A, like too fast to pull the trigger and just do something, or B, they begin to get wet feet and feel that it's going to have a negative impact too fast. So here's the other deal about this, is that this is a big proposal that has been demonstrated by Disney executives, and both Jon and Dave are already fighting the entire pitch by Disney. Where this all goes depends on multiple factors that will be final by this June as well. At no surprise though, this is something that Kathleen Kennedy is supporting, as she doesn't want Gina's appearance to return in the Mando Season 2 Special Edition, since that was Kennedy's last major project that she had all creative control over for the most part. Now, this new interference by Disney executives to rid of Gina's deleted scenes would mean fans won't be able to see those deleted sequences of herself interacting with Luke Skywalker that went unfinished, that Jon and Dave want to complete with editors. This is still on the table, but it's a fight in the process. So let's be clear, this is still in a, scenario where it could still possibly happen for next year, but Disney's fighting for this to not happen, and Jon and Dave are also fighting for this to happen. So now it's more or less in an area where they are debating on whether or not they should even do this with the Mando Season 2 Special Edition by including Gina's deleted scenes. Now again, I don't understand how it's too early to just throw her appearance on screen, even if it's old and not newly shot footage. And so to me, I think it would be a better idea to do that at first and kind of just see and use that as testing the waters to see how the fans really react. And that probably would be the best scenario. But this is something that Disney executives are really trying to prevent right now for multiple reasons, as we stated just before. Now, the other thing about this, and there is a flip side to this coin, is that Kathleen Kennedy is partially behind this because she has a lot of connections with many of the Disney executives that are loyal to her. That's exactly the ones, of course, that support the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, stuff like that. These are the ones that are trying to convince other executives and the board, as well as Bob Iger, to initiate a Star Wars movie to fall into the hands of Kathleen Kennedy per her contract, and have that be the one movie of hers on Disney+. They're looking to make that happen. I don't know if that's going to go anywhere. We'll have to wait and see. But this is a very interesting time because before you know it, guys, it's going to be 2024, right around January to March of that year. That's when they want to debut this special edition of Mando Season 2. And it's going to be interesting to see where we are going to stand at that point in time. Will Gina have her deleted scenes? Will she not have them? This all depends throughout the months of April and May leading up to June on exactly what Disney's going to ultimately do now that they're fighting for this to not happen, at least partially. So anyways, guys, fill me in below in the comments what you guys have to say about all of this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.